My name is Chris Cook. I'm the Managing Director of the Office of Communication and Marketing at Texas Tech University and Texas Tech Public Media. Texas Tech University is full of great communicators, and together we hope to bring you perspectives and insight that can help you in your field. Communication is what we do every day, and it's intricately connected to our success and failures. This is Communicators in a Cart. Paul Hunton was first introduced to public media at a young age, a really young age, but we will expand on that in a moment. Paul and the team at Texas Tech Public Media have played an integral role in the university's outreach to the community through national and local programming on PBS and NPR. They have been recognized internationally for their work and continue to grow and evolve in the ever-growing world of media. Hey man, what's going on?
Not much. What's going on?
Not a whole lot. I want to find out what you guys are up to.
Oh yeah.
Got time for coffee?
Yeah, I do. Let's do it.
All right,
I need to put on some more appropriate attire for the coffee.
That's perfect. Very appropriate for PBS.
That's right. Yeah. Let's do it.
All right. It's so appropriate that you are a guest on the show. We filmed our first one 3 years ago to run in the spring of 16.
Wow.
But it was in the fall of 15 that we shot our first one with Todd Chambers.
Okay.
Followed by Robert Giovanetti.
Robert Giovanetti.
And who has ties to KTTZ.
Absolutely, my predecessor and mentor and good friend.
So we're driving toward the tower.
Yeah, they can't really see it. But...
anyone who's been on campus knows the big TV tower.
Yep.
You just get nightmares now that you drive up to it?
Not as much. It feels really good now. We just had a big project that you were involved in, you know about, and so now I feel really good about it. I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders, but man, it feels good to have it done. You know, it is a very, very tall tower. I was just thinking what the size is, 700 plus feet, and then it broadcasts out to over a potential audience of 400,000+ people in our area. So it's pretty powerful stuff, and this is the stuff that people don't, get to see. You love to watch your programming, you love to talk about it, but you don't get to see the backside of things. It's the less glamorous side, but it's the most important thing that we have going on.
Well, that project was, was one that we definitely, it was one we talked about. We didn't ask for it.
No.
But the FCC mandated it. Radio was affected for about 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And that was an unfortunate part of that.
Yes, our NPR station. Man, it is windy out here. Our NPR station was affected, unfortunately, due to that. The tower was put up a very long time ago, and there's some weaknesses in it, some problems with the tower itself. So to get the job done, we had to take down the radio antennas, which put our listeners out. But we're working to make sure something like that never happens again. But yeah, it was a trying time. I'm a young professional. I've been in the job for about 3 years now, and it was a great lesson to learn. It was a great thing to go through. But yes, I'm very glad it's over. Hey, I am your first guest with his own television studio, and it's so windy, rather than drive across campus for coffee, let's just go back to the studio.
I can do that.
Let's do it.
I'm game for that.
Yeah.
Good idea.
It is windy out here.
So how's it feel to sit in that seat?
It's a little different, but I'm okay with it. I mean, technically, it's home court advantage still, because we're still in my spot.
You're in your space, and I will say, it's regardless of the seat. I'm interviewing, and I've said this to you before, but I'm gonna say it publicly now, an interview master.
Thank you.
And I think you're so good at what you do with that, and so I think it was like when I interviewed Gio. I think Gio ended up interviewing me.
Probably.
And he asked more questions than I did. But he's so good at it. I mean, you guys are good at it. So
one thing, I brought this down. So this this was all a setup, because
I was just about to ask you about
talking about home court. So one thing I always like to point out to people, I've been involved with PBS for a very long time, much longer than people realize. So this right here is the membership, the program guide. So we send a program guide out here for KTTZ. This is the KENW TV program guide, which is in my hometown, Portales, New Mexico, right across the border.
Right.
Many people know where that is. And this is the PBS station there. And this is me in utero in a sonogram, because the local PBS station did a documentary series about sonogram technology, and my mom was the subject of that documentary. So I like to say I've been involved with PBS since before I was born.
So I wanted to jump in here with Texas Tech Public Media and this umbrella, and maybe a lot of people don't know what that encompasses. Tell me a little bit about what's under the umbrella, and then I want to get into some other parts of it as well.
Sure, absolutely. Well, the first thing that's really interesting right now, if anything, is that you're my boss. And so being interviewed on television by my boss is a unique thing that doesn't happen very often. So this is great.
I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah. So the crew, it's like multiple layers. It's like I'm their boss and you're my boss. So they better not mess any of this up.
It's got to be the best.
It's got to be the best one ever as far as technically produced. So Texas Tech Public Media, we are KTTZ TV, Channel 5 here, and we are KNCH FM in San Angelo, which is NPR radio, and we're KTTZ FM 89.1 NPR radio here in Lubbock. And so Texas Tech Public Media, and then those three entities make up the whole. So like many public media stations across the country, it's PBS, it's NPR, as well as all the great local productions that we do, like this one.
Well, and so we've got you've got the local programming. You talked about the radio stations, and we don't want to get into it, but maybe a little bit of a tease. They're down the road. We have some more news on expansion that could be really exciting for West Texas as well. So just kind of stick that out.
Yeah,
keep
just
people
little
anxious
little
on
thing
that as well.
Yeah.
So when the casual viewer and listener that's out there listening to 89.1 or watching KTTZ television, they see the programming, they see the things that are on all of the fun drives, and that's what they're used to. But there's so much more that goes on here. A lot of projects, a lot of additional programming that you produce. Talk about some of the programming that is locally produced, some of the shows, and then also some of the projects that you work on that you've even been awarded for.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have here at TV, we've done a lot of good stuff. I came in 2011. My first day was February 1st, 2011. Which, if there's any weather nerds and like date nerds out there was a terrible blizzard in Lubbock, February 1st, 2011. That was supposed to be my first day here, and the campus was shut down. But I hadn't yet activated my TTU or whatever it is, my Raider number, and so I slid and I slipped all over the ice to drive my little car down here to come to a locked building to get a text from my boss at the time that we weren't even open on my first day. But I came.
Welcome.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Welcome to Lubbock, where the weather changes.
You get a day
all the
off
time.
on your first
Yeah,
day.
exactly. And I came as the production director. And one of the things that was talked about in that whenever I was coming is that there hadn't been a lot of production done outside of the studio. There were a couple shows that were done here historically, but not a lot of production just out there telling the stories of Lubbock. And so the first thing I really did was get a sense of what this community is and what they believe and what they love and what they are passionate about. And then also take a gauge of what the other television stations are doing, all the other local stations. Lubbock has a lot of local television stations. And so by looking at that, PBS is always supposed to be an educational alternative.
Right.
So whatever everyone else is doing, we try to do something different, something enlightening, but also that plays into what people want to see. And the Lubbock art scene and the Lubbock music scene were both two big things that seem to mean a lot to a lot of people here. You talk about the history, Buddy Holly, Terry Allen, Natalie Maines, the Maines brothers. It goes on and on and on and on. Joe Ely, Flatlanders. I mean, I could just sit here and da-da-da-da. And so, Mac Davis. Anyway, the list is just incredible. And I thought, and then watching the shows, there was nothing, no one was covering that really.
Right.
Everyone does local news, which is great, very valuable thing to have, but no one was telling these larger stories that I think people really wanted to hear. And so we started 24 Frames, which was about music, art, and culture in the hub city, and we just had wild success with it. A lot of people responded to it, which I think just goes to show you that that is something that people really wanted to see on television. And then as time went on, it's like this perfect sort of, media is so interesting, especially in the last, if you want to just talk about 2011 to now.
Right.
and the way the platforms that exist and the way we consume media, it's changing so rapidly and so fast. Like that doesn't even seem that long ago, but technology has just gone like this.
What other, speaking of that, what other opportunities has that provided you or provided the station?
Well, I mean, this show, I love this show. It's done so well for us on Facebook. People watch it by the thousands. I don't think you and I thought that would happen necessarily when we first came up with this. Yeah, it's been a huge success. Dr. Catherine Hayhoe, who's an amazing climate scientist here on campus, her show, Global Weirding, is another digital show similar to yours that has just done thousands and thousands of views. We've done crowdfunding campaigns for it that have gotten dollar donations from all over the world right here to Lubbock to Texas Tech Public Media. So by capitalizing on that sort of convergence of technology and then platform and the way people were consuming media, we've done a really good job here, my team, you, communicating and working through. And I should give Robert Giovanetti a big shout out.
Absolutely.
He opened the doors for me. He's a great friend and mentor, and he just sort of said, I believe in you. Let's get some things going. And we've had a lot of great success. So those digital programs have been a huge success for us and really put us on the map nationally as well with PBS. PBS looks at Texas Tech Public Media as one of the finest stations in the country.
And you've presented at conferences based by their invitation.
Yep.
Because of the things you're
exactly. I've been on, I've the last 3 or 4 annual meetings, which is what we call our national conference. I've spoken and talked about the work that we do here. I was on the Digital Media Advisory Council for all of PBS and PBS Digital, and I just rotated off after a 3-year term. And so people take notice of what we do here.
I want to talk too about radio, because radio, it's you still have formatting, you have programming that exists there.
Yes, KTTZ FM. I mean, it is a rock here, KOHM previously, and people love it and listen to it daily and count on it. I mean, that's what one of the things we found out is, like, I don't really trust any of the other media organizations. I trust NPR. I heard that a lot. I want to hear NPR in the mornings. They're telling me the truth. And I think in this day and age, that's what people want to choose their news sources and their information very delicately, and they want to make sure that they're getting the most trustful and truthful and honest opinion that they can get. And so NPR provides that. So we heard a lot of that. But locally, so Betsy Blaney does a lot of the Inside Texas Tech stuff.
Betsy's been here.
Yeah,
for a while.
and I'll go back to radio, but to like speak to a big umbrella. Texas Tech has so one of the things that Robert and I talked about early on when I was production director was, we don't want to make Texas Tech products. You know, we're not about foam fingers necessarily, but we want to be a product of Texas Tech. And so what that means is essentially, the better we are, the more it looks great for this university by saying, look at that. When PBS says Texas Tech Public Media is rocking and rolling, it's not because we put, you know, Texas Tech football on the air, or we put other things on the university on the air. It's because as a whole, we do such great work for our community that they take notice. Well, part of our community is this university, and there's amazing work that goes on here every day, in every college, in every unit, in every organization here on campus. And so we like to choose stories, once again, that aren't really being talked about a lot, and then put those on our air, whether that's Betsy Blaney on 89.1 or here with Inside Texas Tech, which is a program that highlights those things. We've done a big documentary, Between Earth and Sky, where we followed soil scientists from here on campus to Alaska to look at how climate change is affecting the state over there. So we're showing the research and the work that's being done. So Betsy does an amazing job on 89.1 with her show, where she covers those stories, those great Texas Tech stories. Curtis Peoples has a wonderful show, the Crossroads. I always get the title wrong, but the Crossroads of West Texas Music, and it's just wonderful. He's an archivist over in Southwest Collections in the library, and puts together a local show that's a mix of history and local music, and it's just incredible stuff.
Paul, we're going to stop there, man, because we could keep going, I think.
Yeah, I could go on for hours. That's what I do.
It's kind of your thing. You sit here and talk all the time.
Talk and ask questions. Like sometimes people are always just like, I tell stories, I interview people, all that kind of stuff, and it can be a chore for people.
Absolutely. Thanks, man.
Yeah, thanks
for
all
the
work
y'all do.
It was good, yeah.